Well, good morning everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again. Welcome to another review video. This week I've chosen to begin with by looking at Eagle County Regional Airport in Colorado in the United States. This is Kilo Echo Golf Echo. This is a payware scenery by XOMETRY, which has been out for a little while. Currently this is version 1.1 for the PC version of Flight Simulator 2020. No details about any availability for Flightsim 2024, but this is the current version for Flightsim 2020. The download comes in at just over a gig, 1.08 gig, and it installs at 2.72 gigs. It's available from SimMarket and from the AnyBuild store. I'll give you the prices from the AnyBuild store, they're slightly better. Okay, it comes in at £13.79 UK, which equates to roughly €16.44 or $17.14 US. The US and the Euro prices are estimates taken from the UK pound, and they include tax or VAT at 20%, which of course may vary depending on the country you're in when you make your purchase. This is an impressive airport. It's high altitude. I flew in here the other day. Scenery is really good, to be honest. There is a freeware version out there which is also quite good, but to be honest, if you want the best, this is it. There's also a version on Orbix for Prepare 3D for those of you who might be interested, and for those who still use that simulator. So let's look at features. So features, we have detailed buildings, high-resolution ground textures, a detailed rendition of Eagle County Regional Airport, Kilo Echo Golf Echo, PBR normal maps, or realistic wear, tar, cracks and stains all over the airport, custom mesh, custom night lighting, accurately placed realistic vegetation, you've got 3D grass, bushes and trees, high-resolution ortho imagery, which is really welcome in a place like this, and of course we have custom jetways. And as you can see, you've got various amounts of static aircraft all over the place. I believe there's a GSX file for this. Yes, indeed, there is a GSX profile for this. It's available on Flightsim.To as a free download, and I'll put the link in the description below for you. So that was features. As you can see from this shot, it's a highly detailed scenery that looks brilliant here with no snow or no additions. It looks really quite good from here. Let's have a look at some history of this airport. Okay, history. So Eagle County Regional Airport, Kilo Echo Golf Echo, is a public use regional airport owned and operated by Eagle County and is located in Gypsum in Colorado in the United States. The airport is also sometimes known as Vail or Eagle Airport by airlines and other entities. The airport is located 4 miles or 6.4 kilometers west of the town of Eagle and 37 miles or 60 kilometers west of the city of Vail. It covers 632 acres or 256 hectares and has a single runway. It is the primary commercial airport for the Vail and Beaver Creek ski resorts, and as a result airline flights are highly seasonal, with more operating in the winter than during the rest of the year. The airport is also popular with private aviation and hosts fixed-based operators or FBOs and private jet charter operators as well. The airport's terminal has one concourse with 5 gates, all built in 1996 and remodelled in the subsequent years of 2001, 2007 and 2019. There are 4 security screening lanes, a pre-security concession gift shop, and 3 luggage carousels in addition to the special ski snowboard slide. In 2012, a new inline baggage handling system was constructed in time for the 2012-13 ski season. Beyond the security checkpoint, a restaurant, coffee shop, gift shop, and a bar are to be found. The airport also offers free Wi-Fi in the terminal. Eagle County Airport has U.S. Customs facilities for private aircraft located at the Vail Valley Jet Center. The facility is currently in the midst of a terminal expansion project. In July of 2019, the first phase of the project was completed and opened, with access to the new terminal with 4 gates equipped with jetways, enhanced concessions and other new aviation technology. The airport has a full complement of snowplows, snow blowers and powered brooms for the snow removal operations, along with a complete runway friction measuring system. In 2019, a dedicated de-icing pad was built on the southeast section of the airfield. This allows planes to be de-iced without blocking the commercial ramp and gates. In July 2010, the History Channel listed Eagle County Regional Airport as 8th on its list of most extreme airports, due to the airport's high elevation, weather, approach through the mountainous terrain and challenging departure procedures. United Airlines flies year-round to Denver on United Express or SkyWest Airlines, and non-stop to Chicago O'Hare in the summer and winter months. American offers near year-round service to Dallas-Fort Worth, operating as American Airlines or American Eagle in every season except autumn and fall. In winter, American, Delta and United Airlines offer service to 11 more cities across the United States, including daily flights to Atlanta, Los Angeles, Miami, New York JFK, Newark, Houston Intercontinental and San Francisco. Winter airline flights are operated using a variety of jet aircraft, including the Boeing 757, Airbus 319 and the Boeing 737, as well as the Embraer 175 and Bombardier CRJ 700 regional jet on the shorter flights. So that was the history for you. Now let's look at the details and navigation aids on this single runway here. Okay, so runways. So here we are at 7:20 in the morning. I've lowered the lighting as usual so you can see the runway and its lighting. Quite a nice view here. You can also see evidence of custom mesh and terrain modeling here where this plinth is here. So Eagle County Regional Airport operates a single runway, runway 2507, measuring 9,000 feet or 2,743 meters, and is constructed from asphalt. The airport lies at a high elevation of 6,547 feet or 1,996 meters and sits within the GMT UTC -7 hours time zone. Now Colorado, like many US states, does indeed observe Daylight Saving Time or DST, but here we are in February 2025 with both the US and the UK currently back on their respective GMT times. The airport remains 7 hours behind the UK. So runway 25 to begin with, we're looking down the throat of it now, features high intensity runway lighting, medium intensity approach lighting system and precision approach path indicators on the right side. And as you can see, they've got it pretty much correct. You've got the approach lighting here, which is correct as per the chart. It's the flashing sequence type, which this particular approach lighting system is a common feature of. And you've got the PAPIs here again on the right hand side. The extended threshold is also on the charts and again it's in the scenery. So this is all correct. Approach options, okay, you only have approach options for runway 25. So you have a localizer type directional aid known as an LDA. And in addition to that you have RNAV approaches, X, Y and Z options. The LDA does have a glide slope attached to it, certainly in the scenery. Not sure whether it's actually there at the actual airport, but in the scenery it's essentially the equivalent of an ILS. You've got a localizer, the LDA, and there is a glide slope attached to this type of approach in the scenery. So let's have a look at the other end, runway 07. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 07, which according to the charts features the high intensity runway lighting, and there should be runway end identifier lighting system, and that seems to be missing. There should be 2 white lights flashing either side of the runway, which are your runway end identifier lighting system. Here's the blast pad, which is again on the charts as well, so that's correct. The only thing they're missing, or it would appear to be missing, is the runway end identifier, the 2 white lights flashing either side of the runway. There are no listed approach options for runway 07. There is, however, an unspecified approach, an RNAV GPS D Delta, unspecified. The runway is also fully grooved. Now you should note that obviously an airport like this, seriously high altitude in winter, all sorts of issues. This airport does have special procedures, so you guys really should check the charts. So there you go, that's runways. Let's get to the jetway test. This airport had 4 new jetways installed in 2019. Let's have a look at one of them and do the test. Okay folks, a jetway test. So here we are on stand 4. Today I've got the fly-by-wire A320 Airbus, the Neo version. Just showing you where we're parked. We spawn direct from the menu as usual, and we're pretty much on the Airbus A320 marker, which is here. So as you can see, it's pretty close. Okay, so let's test the jetway. As you can see, it looks pretty good. It's nicely weathered here, and you've got the stairwell, which I'm pretty sure is going to go into the concrete. But we will see. Let's operate the jetway and see how we go. There we go, the wheels are in the right direction. The stairs do go into the concrete. And the wheels have turned. And that looks like it's lined up pretty well. Not bad at all. Let's have a closer look. So from there, that looks to be pretty good. It's aligned with the aircraft side, doesn't appear to have gone through very much, and more importantly, it's not covering the pitot tubes. And it's nicely weathered. Let's have a look from the other side. Well, as you can see, the jetway hasn't really quite lined up with the door. The door has actually gone through the side of the jetway hood. Let's go inside and see actually how much of the aircraft doorway is free within the jetway itself. So there you can see the doorway is perfectly okay, and actually passengers can get in and out. It's just a pity that the door has opened and gone through the side of the skin, because the jetway actually hasn't quite properly aligned with the aircraft. Now you remember from the initial view that we were just short, not very long, maybe a foot or two short of the A320 marker. So if we moved forward to actually be on the marker, then this would probably be okay. Something we'll have to look at some point. So let's check out the view from inside the aircraft. So there's the view from inside the aircraft looking out. And as you can see, jetway doors are closed like they are in many of the jetways. Again, it would be nice if they could be opened so that the GSX passengers could walk in and out and not have to walk through them. There's a view slightly further back. Not really quite sure what this is. All looks a bit higgledy-piggledy. It may be due to the fact that I'm using the fly-by-wire aircraft for a change, as opposed to the FENIX or the 7.3. We'll see. Maybe it works better with the other aircraft. Okay, let's detach the jetway now. I mean, that's perfectly good. There's nothing really wrong with that. It's just a case of maybe getting the aircraft aligned properly. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have chose the fly-by-wire, not because it's not a good aircraft, it's brilliant. But the cabin is not fully developed, so there's no sides to the aircraft. So I can't really fully see whether the skin's gone inside the aeroplane. But in terms of the jetway, I mean, that works perfectly. It works fairly well. It's not the worst I've seen, and visually it looks pretty good. Okay, so that was the jetway test. Let's get down to the aircraft proper, to the airport proper now, and have a look and see what we're presented with in this rendition of Eagle County Airport. Okay, so let's welcome back. Let's have a look at this airport in detail. I thought we'd start by looking at the north side. On the north side here you've got the hangars, there's the National Guard facility and the control tower. Here you can see quite a lot of evidence of terrain custom mesh and terrain modelling and matching. This does look a little bit weird. I'm not sure how this looks in the real world, but anyway, they've attempted to sort of match it properly to the terrain. But from here, it looks good. It doesn't affect the airport itself. I have landed here, and it works pretty well. So let's move west. Here you've got what appears to be some kind of cargo drop-off site. It's all been done in a bit low resolution. But then you get onto the airport. Here's the airport fence line below there to the left. Here you've got a nice radar tower. Evidence of construction. I mean, it all looks pretty good there. Obviously building a hangar. So these are the hangars at the eastern end of the northern site. All really nicely weathered and constructed. And here you've got general aviation operations. Let's have a look at the FBO here. So here you've got an FBO and the Colorado Army National Guard base. Got a LEARJET down there as well. And it all looks nice, doesn't it? It looks really quite pleasant. The LEARJET model looks really good, and the building there, the big hangar, also looks quite impressive. It looks nice, really does. Modelling is good. A couple of GA aircraft there, and the hangars looking really good, all well weathered. I mean, they do look quite impressive there. So we come across to the main National Guard facility. Here you've got CHINOOK helicopters on the pads. A couple of Army vehicles down there to the right. And here you've got the big hangars itself. Again, all nicely weathered. No internal development, I might add, but that all looks pretty good. So while we're here, let's have a look at the control tower. So there's the control tower, looks pretty impressive. Don't think there's any internal development. And indeed, there you are. No internal development. This is what you will see from the tower. So there's the tower from the other side of the fence. I'm really impressed that we've got the proper fence line as well. Here you've got the fence with the crank neck facing outwards, and you've got a clear way of 3 meters either side of the fence. I mean, that's ICAO regulations. Fence has got to be 2.9 meters high, with a crank neck facing outward, razor wire, and this is exactly as it should be. And you've got gates here, and that's a close-up look at landside here. All looks really nice, very nice building. And the helicopter there on the left, plinth onto the left side, really nice. So as you can see, the custom mesh and terrain modelling it works pretty well. It looks a bit strange, but in terms of landing, taxiing, taking off and everything here, airfield operations are not affected. I had a perfectly good landing here, no real problems. So as we get out towards the runway, let's have a look at some of the runway signage. You've got the airfield edge lights there. And there you've got some signage there, and it's on a plinth, which is really good. And here you've got the Alpha Sierra exit from the runway. You've got the appropriate signage, as indeed it should be, on plinths. And you've got working wigwags, which we'll see as we lower the light. Really nice concrete texture here, which is accurate, looks really good, and you've even got the drainage points as well on the airport. Okay, so let's start to head east on the southern side. Here you've got snow blowing equipment. There's a private jet there and additional hangar space. You've got de-icing trucks. Here you've got a Falcon private jet sitting there as well. It's nice, it's very nicely done. There's an atmospheric feeling about the way this airport has been done, which I really quite like. Let's move a little bit quicker. As you can see, plenty to see. So you've got more snow equipment there. There's the fire station with fire tenders. It looks really nice. The building construction quality here, the models are really good. So here we come past the jetways, the main ramp. You've got a static American Airlines 319 sitting there, or is it a 320? It might be a 320 actually. But once again, modelling is of a high quality. It all looks really good. I'm pretty sure there's no internal development in the terminal. But again, you've got static aircraft models which are of good quality. And we continue down here. You've got loads of clutter. And again, more static aircraft. And some stands available as well for you to use pretty much everywhere on the airport. It's not all taken up by static aircraft. This is the Vail Valley Jet Centre we talked about in the history. And once again, some really nice building modelling going on here. Really does look good. And we continue further east. And again, more jets and private aircraft and hangars that really show their age. They show that they're really well modelled and well weathered. Some really nice models actually. So just coming across here, looking at some of the fauna and trees and stuff, which looks really good. Here's the airside boundary fence. Now here you can see the evidence of the terrain and mesh modelling where it doesn't quite work. Not really sure why that is. There's obviously some slight conflict with the default scenery underneath. But no real problems, to be honest. So we go across the top of the hangars here, further east. And this is the de-icing pad mentioned in the history. This is the main pad here, right at the very eastern end of the airport. You see there you've got evidence of the terrain problems. You've got a fire engine coming up the bumpy road there. But as I've said, I mean, it doesn't affect the use of the scenery or you landing or taxiing. I didn't experience any bumps or problems after landing. And I will at some point do a takeoff from here, and we'll check that out too. So here's your access to runway 25, and it all looks pretty cool. Okay, so we're in the Airbus A319 for a change here. Here's the view from inside the cockpit looking out as you park on stand 4. There's the view from the captain's side. We've got the jetway retracted. And looking out of the first officer's window there, you can see the American Airlines aircraft in the stand next door. Okay, so a close-up look at the stand. This is what you guys will be interested in. Here we are on stand 4, got the jetway connected now. And yeah, you know, it looks pretty fine. You've got the appropriate clutter and equipment. The stairs on a jetway going into the ground, which is common. It's not really a problem, but we're all within the safe area. No vehicles parked within it, which is good. So as before, we spawn directly from the menu and the aircraft is pretty much right on the line here. This is the A320-319 line and we're nicely parked there. Here's your ground power unit. And here we are looking to the other side. We've got GSX equipment here, American Airlines. You've got a selection actually from different ones that you can use. Now, interesting enough, next door you've got this static American Airlines Airbus here with the jetways connected even though the door isn't open, and you've got the stairwell here which actually hasn't gone into the concrete. So this is obviously a static stand I don't really think you can use this stand at all because it's a static part of the scenery. But there's a view down to the looking west. Let's have a look and see if there is anything in the terminal. I don't think there is, but we'll check it out anyway. Oh, there is. Certainly at this end. There you can see out to landside. And there you can see right the way through on the airside level. Let's have a little tour, see how far it goes. So stand 2. Stand 3 is where the American Airlines aircraft is parked. And there it is. And here we come to stand 4. There's the JETWAY entrance. And there's my Airbus A319 parked on the JETWAY. Here you've got stairs going down. I mean, this is, to be honest, I didn't expect to find this, but it looks nice. Would be nice to see some people and some additional signage. I mean, this internal bit here is ripe for development. So there's a nice view looking out through the glass towards the airside ramp. Now, I wondered what this was when I first saw it, but it looks like we've got a misplaced visual docking guidance system. Obviously it shouldn't be inside the terminal. If indeed there are visual docking guidance system facilities at the airport, I can't find any mention of them. Clearly they should be outside. But as you can see, this is a nice simplified interior airside part of the terminal. All looks pretty good and it's ripe for development. Some people, some staff, airline staff, maybe some shops or concessions that again were mentioned in the history could be developed in here for version 2. And there's my aircraft and we're looking across towards the north side of the airport. So before we go to dusk, let's have a look at the landside part of the airport here. Very nicely done, all done in 3D. Cars are in their slots, can't see anything stuck out or missing. And we're looking at a really nice modelled landside area. Various cars, probably a few taxis or something. Again, all fairly basically done, nothing to write home about here, but modelling quality is excellent. Version 2 could open it up a little bit, maybe add a few people. But as you can see, landside looks great. Oh, very nice indeed. Really no complaints at all here. Okay, so that was an extensive look around the airport during the day, and it's very nicely modelled. I really got hardly any complaints. This airport's very nice. So let's drop it down to dusk now. Okay, 5:30 in the evening. It's early February 2025 is the date of this video. So we're still in the winter months, as it were. And lights came on about 3 or 4 minutes ago, and here's the view looking across the main ramp. Some very nice subtle lighting. You've got your airfield edge lights here. As you can see, the ground signage is also lit. Ramp lighting looks good, can't really see any issues at all there. There we are looking west, the sun's gone down behind the hills, and here you can see the WIGWAG lights. There's a glow from them. No green centerline lights that I can see, but all looks pretty good. As you can see, some of the more obscure hangars, they're also lit, so they've done quite a bit here. And then looking east, you've got this beautiful red glow on the mountains there, and just about everything along here is well lit. Look, it's great, really is good. And as you can see there, nice to see the northern side hasn't been neglected. You've got lighting, down lighting on the hangars and on the Air National Guard. Control tower's a bit dark. Pity the control tower could have been nicely lit up, but hasn't been done there. And there's a view looking northeast. You've got the hangars there on the northern side of the airport with some additional lighting, which is great. Okay, view from the flight deck at dusk, and now you can see into the terminal through the windows, which is really quite good here. You've got this view here, which is pretty impressive. There's the view through the captain's window, and you can see the jetways connected, and you've got this view here, which is a bit sparse. As I said, this is really ripe for development here. Be nice to see passengers, people, staff or whatever have this developed, really improve the view. And a quick look across the first officer's window. So here we are looking at just some of the ramp signage at dusk. Here you've got the WIGWAGS, or the runway guard lights as the Americans call them, flashing away here, which look pretty good, and they give this really nice glow effect. And the signage is also pretty good. And you've got the blue airfield edge lights, and they're of a type that give this nice glow below the light itself, which I think is a really nice effect. And there you can see the really wonderful concrete texture that goes along the taxiway. So a little airside tour at dusk. Just have a look at the lighting. I mean, this downlighting that you see on some of these buildings I think is really effective. Can't see any SOBO globes floating around. And here's the main stand. Again, you can see the lighting's pretty substantial, and you can see inside airside there through the building. That's really crying out for some development, but maybe, as I said, that's for version 2 possibly. We'll see. But it's impressive. It's great. Very nice indeed. Some very nice subtle lighting, a little bit of parallaxing going on here and there with some of the doors and windows. It's great, it really is. So let's just switch to landside, have a closer look at the terminal area. Again, you got the appropriate lighting, which really does look nice. So we have a little close-up slow cruise down landside here, and this is just nice. It really is nice. It's really good when you see these things done in 3D and not left to photo scenery. It's a huge difference. It really makes a big difference. But as I said, it'd be nice to see a couple of taxis, some people just about to go into the terminal. In fact, let's have a look and see if there's anything inside. I don't think there is. So that's interesting. We've got these things here. So there's, as you can see, the building itself hasn't been developed. But again, you know, potential there for it to happen. But, you know, it looks nice. You can't argue with the fact that it looks nice. It really does. The you know, the visual effect is very, very pleasing. It does look good, I have to say. So a couple of high level shots. Okay, I think we've got one or two of SOBO globes here landside, which is to be expected. But you know, this is all really does look nice, and even on the north side here. And there's a shot from landside looking across the airside ramp. It really does look pretty good. So there we are, that was a good look at dusk. I mean, there's plenty to see. Let's drop it down to night time now. Okay, 10 PM local time, and here we are looking across the same view at the night time, and you get this lovely sort of difference between landside, which is mostly tungsten lighting, gives you this sort of yellow glow, and the LED lighting, which you see airside on the ramp, which is quite different. So a quick travel from landside to airside here. I mean, you know, there really is a nice atmospheric sort of a thing about this airport. It really does look good. So we come across the airside ramp. There's the static American Airlines aircraft, and you can see into the terminal here. You've got the United Express CRJ. I mean, it really does look impressive. It's very nice indeed. It's a very quality product. So let's head out to the taxiways and the runways. Here you can see the glow from the blue lights. You will need your nose gear light when you're coming off the runway. But as you can see, the signage is well lit. The blue airfield edge lights really look nice. There's a very comforting glow about them. Here we're going onto the runway. You've got the signage, the wigwags are going. Let's take it across the runway. We'll go to the north side and have a look at the National Guard facility. So once again, nice to see some hangars that are lit up, and some quite subtle lighting here. No globes floating around generally, from what I can see, certainly airside. And it's impressive, it's nice. And you get some of the vehicles are lit up as well. And here you've got the main big hangar here. It's good, it's nice. So a little bit of lighting there at the base of the tower, but really that's about it really. So a close-up view of the ramp is my Airbus A319. And there's the view on the other side, and again you can see into the terminal. Very, very nice. And there's a view across landside. This is the main terminal at night time, and yeah, it looks great. I can no complaints at all really. Okay, so there's the view looking west. You've got the runway to the right side of us and the airside ramp to the left. Let's bring the dawn up and see what it looks like at dawn. Okay, 7:35 in the morning, and the dawn is upon us. And you don't get an awful lot of ground colour here because of obviously you've got mountains surrounding the airport. But we do get to see a bit of sun that's coming up behind us. There's the north side of the airport with the general aviation hangars there, and the Air National Guard facility, the control tower in the distance. And they're looking southwest. You've got the airport itself proper. And then looking southeast, you've got general aviation hangars and the de-icing pad below us, and the sun coming up over the mountains. Okay, 8:35 in the morning, and time to wrap up this review, give you my thoughts. Do I like it? Yeah, it's a lovely scenery. I mean, it's been out a while, so you couldn't really call it sort of like using the latest facilities, but you know what? It looks like it does. The only thing that maybe puts me off a little bit is the way that the airport has been, you know, there's a big difference here in the terrain surrounding the airport, but it doesn't affect us as pilots. You can land and take off and taxi around here all day long without any issues. I couldn't find any bumps or any problems like that. The only thing that's missing, we're missing the runway end identify lighting system at the end of runway 07 here. That's the only NAVAID that's missing. And you know, it's great. What would I like to see? I'd love to see some development further. You've got a nice terminal that's been done internally airside. That's ripe for development. So I'd like to see some shops and some people, some bits and pieces. So all of this could be going into maybe version 2. They could even do landside because they've got the building. Or they could leave the building and maybe just add some people and taxis landside, which, you know, would be quite impressive, to be honest. Control tower could be developed as well. It would be nice to see the inside of that developed and also lit up at night. So those are a couple of suggestions for version 2 of the scenery, but you know what, as it stands, it's really, really impressive. And the price, well, the price is quite good. I mean, it's what, just over $17 US. Just over 16 euros. There's a lot here. Certainly the static aircraft, all of them are decent quality. And they're all positioned in such a way that you're not going to hit them. You still have room to park your own aircraft, whether it be a jet or helicopter or light aircraft. There's lots of capability in this scenery. It just looks nice. And they've done a lot of work on the buildings. They all looked formed. They all look like they've been there for ages. The weathering is excellent. Texturing is of a good quality. Like I said, the only sort of thing that looks a bit abnormal is this here, the way that the airport sits in the terrain but doesn't sort of sit in it properly. So it's raised on this big plinth. Never been to Eagle County Airport myself, so I can't say exactly how accurate it looks. But as a standalone scenery product at the moment, oh, it's nice. It's really, really nice, and it's in a beautiful location. So I like the product a lot. More could be done. It's ripe for development. But as it stands, and at the price it's being sold at, it's great. It's a winner. It's a very, very nice little airport. So there you are, folks. That's Eagle County Regional Airport in Colorado, Kilo Echo Golf Echo. It's a payware scenery by XOMETRY. That's spelt XOMETRY. This is version 1.1 for Flight Simulator 2020. No version or no mention of a version for 2024. Who knows, maybe that's coming. Download comes in at just over a gig and it stalls at 2.7 gig. And you can get it from SimMarket or the AnyBuild store at the moment. I give you the AnyBuild's price, which I've found to be the best one so far. That comes in at £13.79 UK, which equates to roughly €16.44 in the euro, or $17.14 US. The US and euro prices are estimates taken from the UK pound, and they include tax or VAT at 20%, which of course could be different depending on where you are when you buy it. Some nice features, some really excellent modelling, visually a very stunning place to fly into and out of, and a very challenging one. So pilots, you guys need to check your charts. Arrival options here are really challenging. Very, very high altitude airport, over 6,500 feet up. But in terms of the scenery, it's nice. It's very, very nice indeed. So thanks for watching, folks. My apologies for not being sort of up to speed with things this week, but we're getting there. We've done this one. I'm going to try and get Dammam Airport done as well for you to look at. So there you go. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot. Thank you very much for watching and for being with me, and for those of you that support my channel, it's really appreciated. Have a good week. Safe flying. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.